Almost midnight right now. I just want to give you the latest thinking on the storm for the weekend. New data coming in. Unfortunately, nothing's really changed. It's still a go here, and here's how it breaks down. We'll stay cold and dry right on through Saturday morning. The first flakes of snow by mid-afternoon, and certainly by evening and Saturday night, the snow becoming a little widespread and heavy. The wind shouldn't be too much of an issue on Saturday, but certainly by Sunday, especially during the morning, just a wind-swept heavy snow on Sunday morning, poor visibility, blowing and drifting, gusts 40, 55 miles per hour, even stronger gusts as you get towards the Cape and the coastline, ending by mid to late afternoon on Sunday. Statewide, we're thinking 6 to as much as 10 inches of snow. I'll show you a more detailed accumulation map in just a second. The strongest of the wind and the heaviest snow in the area is shaded in red, essentially from Worcester to Boston suburbs, east coastal Mass, into Bedford out towards Cape Cod. That's not to say that Providence and Westerly will be left out of very stormy weather. You'll still have significant impacts as well. Blizzard warning for the areas in red for eastern Massachusetts for Saturday night into Sunday. And it's a winter storm warning for the rest of the area in purple. Winter storm warning meaning 6 or more inches of snow. Not as much out in the Connecticut River Valley, so there it's called a winter weather advisory. Also want to draw your attention to the coastal flood threat. High tide Sunday morning for east coastal Massachusetts, especially inside of Cape Cod Bay. Those winds screaming in off the ocean, perhaps gusting to hurricane force at the time of high tide. Moderate coastal flooding is likely during that high tide cycle. This is where the storm should be wrapping up and intensifying Sunday evening, Sunday night into Monday morning, right in a classic spot to give us a very strong wind and some heavy precipitation. So a bona fide classic winter storm nor'easter for the New England area over the weekend. These are pictures from Providence. This is around the midnight hour, and it's clear, very cold. I mean, many spots are already in the single digits. I mean, in fact, Taunton at last check was 3 below zero, Smithfield at 1. So there's plenty of cold air for this storm system to work with. It'll be in the form of all snow. You see one batch of very cold air on top of us right now, the shading in purple. You see another batch up towards Minneapolis and Fargo and just over the Canadian border. That's a second surge that will come in behind the storm on Sunday night. As the storm intensifies and pulls away Sunday night, it's going to drag in even colder, extremely cold air Sunday night into Monday, with wind chills going to be running well below zero. So, the temperature, a big weather story with the storm system as well. Getting real close over New England and clear for now, but draw your attention to the precipitation on the left-hand side of your screen. That is one impulse that's going to give way to a secondary storm off the New England coastline Saturday night into Sunday and really intensify. Now take a look at the wind speed. Well, for the futurecast overnight into Saturday morning, it's dry. At 7 o'clock, we're cold and dry. Noontime, we're still dry. But by mid-afternoon, you see the snow breaking out, more solid and widespread. 8 o'clock in the evening. Maybe a little bit of a lull to late Saturday night before it starts to fill back in early on Sunday morning. Wind gusts forecast starting at 11 o'clock Saturday night. Look at these numbers. They're relatively low. But watch how they ramp up Sunday morning and beyond. We're talking gusts between 45 and 55. Some gusts can be as high as 60 along the south shore from Block Island, Newport, Cape Cod, and the island. So even when the storm is winding down and the snow is stopping, the winds will still be very strong Sunday night, causing a lot of blowing and drifting and some poor visibility, and really causing some extreme wind chills as well. They may be dealing with wind chills of 15, 25 below zero, and that dry, powdery snow on the ground. That'll just be blowing around and drifting around all night long, even after snow stops. You can sometimes get what we call a ground blizzard, where there's no snow coming out of the sky, but the snow that's on the ground is blowing and drifting with reduced visibility. You can have blizzard conditions long after the snow stops. How much by Sunday afternoon? 6 to 10 statewide. But notice New Bedford, pretty close to that 10 to 15 area. That extends up through Boston and the North Shore. You get 3 to 6 inches out across the Connecticut River Valley. Feel very confident with these numbers, so there's just enough snow to be a high-impact storm. And again, a lot of this is going to be blowing around and drifting. So we're very cold and dry during the morning, and then by afternoon, we're looking at snow starting by mid-afternoon. Saturday night, about 2 to 4 inches on the ground by 10 o'clock. And look at Sunday morning. It should look just like this. Blowing sideways, poor travel, drifting snow, winds gusting over 45, 50 miles per hour, and some heavy snow. Nothing on the ground at 9 a.m. Saturday, a dusting to 1 by 5 p.m., 11 o'clock Saturday night, looking at 2 to 4 inches of snow. 7-day futurecast shows a break on Monday, potential for another significant storm on Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Just an incredibly active weather pattern. Stay with us at the Pinpoint weather team. Pete Mangione in tomorrow morning at 6:30 a.m. and TJ's in on Saturday night. I'm actually working Sunday night, and Pete will be back here on Sunday morning as well. Thanks for logging in.